Year by year, day by day, artificial intelligence is becoming more powerful and much more sophisticated. Latest example, McDonald's is now working on automating its drive-through windows. Google and other tech titans will soon produce cars that can drive themselves. Millions of Americans, from drivers to factory workers to retail clerks, people who work in jobs that could soon be automated away. So what does that mean for this country? Oren is one of the few people who's thought deeply about this subject. He's a senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute and author of the book, The Once and Future Worker, A Vision for the Renewal of Work in America. He joins us tonight. Oren, thanks a lot for coming on. So,
hey, great to see you, Tucker.
To the extent that people are paying any attention at all to automation, most of our leaders, I think, are ignoring it. But to the extent that they address it, you hear some of them say, well, actually, this is a problem that will solve itself. We'll think of some new thing for these people to do. Are you hopeful that will happen?
Well, I think it should happen. I think the question we have to be asking is why isn't it happening? We've always automated away old jobs since the days of horse carriages. But the economy and business leaders used to spend their time finding new, better ways for people to work. And that's what's missing from the equation. We're not creating those new opportunities anymore.
Interesting. So you would describe part of the problem as a failure of will.
I think that's right. I mean, you look at, what do our business leaders invest in? What are our biggest, richest businesses doing? In a lot of cases, it's trying to find ways to do things with as few workers as possible. Or it's, we're speculating in bonds and making money without doing anything in the real economy. Or when we do need people, it's, you hear the business leaders either wanting to use people in another country or insisting they need to bring new people into this country. Whereas back in the day, it was all about using American workers well and giving them opportunities to be more productive.
Why do we not hear politicians push back against that? This McDonald's idea, for example, my gut reaction is really, it's too much for you to pay some kid to stand at the window? But I can't imagine even a Republican senator saying something like that to McDonald's. Why?
Well, I'm not sure if the concern should be about the McDonald's kid at the window. I think when we talk about what we want our economy to be, it's not that we're saying, gosh darn it, why don't we have more jobs at McDonald's windows? If McDonald's could find a way, if McDonald's could find a way to bring more automation into its stores, the people who were working there would probably be more productive. They could earn more. We could have more McDonald's restaurants in more smaller towns, and that would create more jobs. So I think the question doesn't have to be how do we protect the McDonald's worker in the drive-through. The question has to be where are the new exciting businesses that are using people in new and exciting ways, and whether that's in the McDonald's, whether that's entire new types of businesses. That's what I'd love to hear people talking about. But again, we don't hear much talk about that either. Instead, we just hear talk about how, we'll let people get rich, whatever kind of business they run, and then we'll tax them and send the money over to the people who don't have good jobs anymore. And a lot of our politicians seem to think that's a winning formula. And I think that's what we have to fight back against.
Right. So a small group of people in finance subsidize the welfare for everybody else. That sounds depressing.
Well, that's you hear the same thing from Silicon Valley with things like universal basic income, which is this idea that, maybe a few people will earn all the money, but we're going to be rich enough that we can send everybody a check. And that's not what people want. They want a job.
No. That's exactly right. And if free money made you happy, then inherited money people would be happy, and generally they're not. So it tells you a lot. Oren, great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Well, progressives have a brand new idea